Hello, all you professional wrestling fans. Welcome back to Squared Circle Speak. I am Ryan. With me is Nathan, and today we have another wrestler spotlight. And we've done a couple of these. We've done a WCW wrestler, we've done a guy known for WWE, and we went way back to the old era of wrestling. Today, we're going to be highlighting a TNA guy, a guy who's been there since the beginning and is still there today. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about Eric Young.
Yeah, Eric Young, he's kind of a guy that's broke a mold that a lot of people never broke, and that is, you know, he became shortly after being in a group he was kind of like the beat up guy. Uh, he became a comedy guy quickly after, but he's one of the few comedy wrestlers, Ryan, that broke the mold of being a comedy guy and worked their way up to win the world championship.
Yeah. He eventually did win the world title. Yeah, he's done everything. He was a comedy guy. He did a superhero gimmick at one time. And so we'll get into his career a little bit. We'll talk about all his highs and lows and everything in between. So he started his career in 1999, wrestling over there in Canada. For ECCW.
What is that?
Extreme Canadian Championship Wrestling.
Oh, of course.
So that was his first match, was on July 24th, 1999, where he defeated Nelson Creed. That was his first match.
All right.
He really didn't start doing much until 2004 when he came into or 2003 when he came into TNA. He joined TNA, and then he joined up with Team Canada rather early there, and was a mainstay from that point on. From about 2004, he was in Team Canada, and that's where he really started to become the mainstay in TNA. So
yeah, and like I said, he was the beat up guy of Team Canada. Really, he lost a lot. Him and this one, I can't remember what that guy's name is.
Johnny Devine.
Yeah, Johnny Devine. They were kind of the tag team of Team Canada. They won tag team titles a couple times.
Yep.
As Team Canada. But yeah, shortly after Team Canada broke up, yeah, he started doing a lot of comedy stuff, right? He's, like you said, he was Super Eric for a while. And he was, messing with doing stuff with Curry Man and uh Suicide,
Yeah.
stuff like that. He got stuck doing that stuff. He even won the Knockouts title one time.
The knockout
Not tag titles.
he won the Knockouts tag team titles with ODB. Because
So he was doing intergender stuff for a while too. But
yeah.
he, like I said, he worked his way up, Ryan. He won their, I don't remember if it was the Legends title at the time or the TNT title, or I don't know. That belt's had like four different names.
I think when he held it, it was the Global Championship.
Okay. Well, he held that belt. He held the X Division title a couple times.
Or the King of the
Yeah.
Mountain Championship.
Yeah,
I don't know what
it's had four names. It's had four fucking names.
He won the X Division title too, so
yeah, he won that a couple times, and then he won like I said, worked his all the way up to winning the world title, Ryan, in the 2020s.
His world title reign was very, how do I say this? It was very controversial at the time because it was really right after Daniel Bryan won the world title in WWE.
Right.
He was the underdog guy with the beard. And then so immediately after, out of nowhere too, it wasn't like he was number one contender. It wasn't like he just won it out of nowhere, like right after they won it. And so or right after Daniel Bryan won it. So it was very weird the way they did it, It was kind of like he won it out of nowhere. Like it was just kind of like it felt like they were just capitalizing on the WWE thing. So but he did get a second reign later, which was a lot better. His second reign was after he had left and come back. He got a second reign with it. uh, which was a lot better.
Yeah, and he led a group, and so he came to WWE, Ryan. Let's talk about this real quick. He came to WWE as a part of Sanity, and they were decent in NXT, don't you think?
I love Sanity. I thought Sanity were great. They competed in War Games. They won the tag team titles. I thought Sanity was a phenomenal group. It was Alexander Wolf, Killian Dane, Eric Young, and Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
And I thought they were a phenomenal group. I really loved them. I thought they were great. They didn't do much when they got called up to the main roster.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So they
But
got called up, and they really didn't do hardly anything. Like they barely got used.
yeah,
What do you think happened there? I think it was just a Vince McMahon didn't like him.
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what happened because I think the Vince McMahon just didn't like groups. Like he just
He didn't
didn't.
like groups. I guarantee he thought they were too much like the Wyatt family,
Yeah. Yep.
and he didn't like the similar. But so then it's like, why'd you call him up then?
Yeah. He
You
did a
know,
whole
'cause
lot of. They broke up Sanity in 2019. Uh, and then it just then he did nothing. He was in the
yeah,
24/7 shit for a while.
yeah. So then he left, right? And he came back to TNA, and like you said, he came back and won the world title.
He immediately won the world title on his first night back.
Yeah, and started a new group.
Yeah, he had another group, which I don't remember the name of, but uh,
But it had Diener in it and a couple other guys.
it was
But
called Violent by Design.
yes, Violence by Design, and yeah, he had a lot of success with this group, and a lot of this was during the COVID era, of course. Um, but yeah, I don't know, Ryan. Overall, Eric Young, he had a pretty successful career. He's had a long ass career, like you said, 99 to 2000, so 25 years,
Yeah.
and most of it, 20 of it, was in TNA.
Yeah, most of his career, I mean, he spent a good, I don't know, like how long, I don't know how long he was in WWE, but it wasn't, it was probably four
Like
to
maybe
five.
maybe 2 years.
Yeah, he wasn't in WWE very long. So, uh, he returned, uh, into WWE in 2002. I think he played Uncle Howdy or was helping out with that or something, but then he left again. Uh,
Yeah.
so, he was killed off of WWE, TNA.
Yeah.
By Design stablemate Diener stabbed him and basically killed him. So then he went back to WWE in November 2022. Then in April 2023, he left, and now he's right back in Impact. So I don't know how I guess he just didn't die.
Yeah, I don't know how they retcon that, but
Uh,
yeah.
but looking at his championships, I mean, he won the World Heavyweight Championship twice in TNA. He won the Legends Global Television King of the Mountain Championship 3 times. He won the TNA X Division Championship once, the TNA World Tag Team Championships 4 times. He won the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championship once. He won the NWA World Tag Team Championships twice. He won King of the Mountain once. He won the World Cup of Wrestling. He's a Triple Crown and a Grand Slam champion. So a lot in TNA. He also won the NXT Tag Team Championships, I guess, because technically they were all the same group. But yeah, so overall he's won a bunch of championships in TNA. If you look at TNA and you look at the guy, everyone thinks AJ Styles, everyone thinks Bobby Roode, James Storm, but I mean Eric Young was there just as long, if not longer, than all of them.
Oh yeah.
And so Eric Young deserves his spot in TNA history as well as one of like the guys who was there through it all. I mean, he was the man. He was around the whole time. I mean, starting in 2003, 2004, the Team Canada, and then he ended up going on his own, and then he did the Super Eric stuff, and then he was Main Event Mafia. Then he had the World Elite group that he was in front of, which we forgot to talk about. He had another group called the World Elite, which is when he really became the serious wrestler. That's when he became, serious Eric Young and showed his actual wrestling ability. Then he joined the NWO / the band.
Yeah. So he also another spotlight of his, another highlight. You remember when John Cena F5 Edge and Big Show picked them both up?
Yeah, yeah,
Well, Eric Young did that first,
he did. Yeah,
and I can't remember who he picked up, but he picked up two guys and did a Death Valley Driver on them. And yeah, it was insane because he was an X Division guy. He's a smaller guy, yeah, and he picks up these two dudes and does the Death Valley Driver. So he did the John Cena spot first. So that was another highlight of his. He's kind of like Brian Pillman with the raspy voice.
yeah.
He same thing as Brian Pillman. He's had a bunch of surgeries with polyps in his throat, and he has to have them removed all the time. So he's exact same thing as Brian Pillman. With the why he has that raspy voice. So
Yeah. He's also branched out. I mean, he was also he had his own television show on Animal Planet. So he also does a lot with like sports betting and hockey and stuff. So like he also does a whole bunch of stuff outside of wrestling as well. So
all right.
But he's got a lot of, I have a lot of fond memories back when I was a TNA fan of Eric Young. And he's always been solid in the ring. And like I said, he's still going today, so he's still in TNA a little bit. He was in TNA for 12 years, and then he left, and then he came back. So now it's, you add on, 4 more years of that. It's like, 16 years he's been in TNA.
All right.
It's a long time. So yeah, a lot of fond memories of Eric Young being, whether it was the serious heel or the comedy guy, and that's the thing about him, he was so versatile. He could pull off both being a serious heel, but also being the funny comedy guy.
Kind of like
That's
Kurt
hard
Angle.
to do. Yeah,
like Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle did it too, but it's hard to do to go from, I'm the goofy guy who doesn't want to get fired, who's scared of everything, to being the leader of a group and being the serious badass heel. And then go back to being the comedy guy. Like, that's what's crazy. He did it back and like he could do it and he'd go back and forth. He'd be crazy, then he'd go face, then he'd turn heel, and then it's so yeah. So he had a lot of great memories and great moments for Eric Young. And we thought we'd highlight one of the lesser known like TNA legends, TNA guys.
Yeah.
Maybe talk about. Maybe, forget that he was around and did all these cool stuff. So any other things on Eric Young before we end this one?
I think we hit it all. I hope he gets into. I mean, hope it probably be in the TNA Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But I doubt he'll ever make it to the WWE Hall of Fame, obviously. But
no,
TNA Hall of Fame will happen for him.
Yeah, yeah, for sure he'll be in the TNA Hall of Fame when he's done. Yeah, he'll never be in the WWE Hall of Fame, but he had a little run there. Maybe the NXT Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. That's gonna do it. Nathan, take us out of here. But again, Eric Young had a great career, and yeah, maybe he's still going. So I don't know how much longer he's got. He's 44, and then so I don't know how much longer he's gonna wrestle. So.
Oh yeah. So all right, I want you guys to bitch slap that like button, tickle the notification bell, and 5-knuckle shuffle that subscribe, so you can always get this great content. And hopefully you'll join us again next week for more great content, as we will also have some WWE talk, AEW talk. We'll have maybe some trivia, maybe some retro reviews. You never know what we're going to throw at you, so stay tuned for more.
All right. See you next week.